Chapter 1. The Garage. Tuesday night, 11:47 p.m. I parked my rental car 3 houses down from my own house at 11:47 on a Tuesday night in September. My wife thought I was in Denver. I had told her at 6 that morning while she was still in her silk robe in our kitchen that my flight was at 9. I had kissed her on the forehead. She had kissed me back. She had said the words she had been saying for 2 weeks straight, every morning, like a prayer she was practicing.
Drive safe, baby. I love you. I love you so much. I'll see you Friday. Call me when you land. And Daniel, thank you for forgiving me, for staying. I will never give you a reason to doubt me again. I swear on my mother's grave.
I had nodded. I had walked out the front door with my carry-on. I had driven to the airport. I had checked into the gate. I had sat at the gate for 45 minutes pretending to read emails on my phone. Then I had walked out of the airport, gotten into a rental car under my brother's name, and driven the 17 miles back to my own house. I parked 3 doors down on a side street. I waited. I waited because 2 weeks earlier, on a Saturday afternoon, I had walked into my own garage and found my wife of 12 years on the hood of my Audi Q5 with a 24-year-old man named Jake, whom she had been tutoring in English for 6 weeks. I waited because 2 weeks earlier, my wife had sobbed on the kitchen floor for 40 minutes, on her knees, with both of her hands holding mine, swearing that it had been a one-time mistake, that she had been drunk, that Jake had pushed her into it, that she did not even like him, that she would do anything I wanted, anything in the world, if I would just please not leave her. I waited because the woman who looks her husband in the eye and swears on her dead mother's grave is the same woman who has already decided to do it again. I just needed the proof. At 11:47, I saw the headlights of a silver Honda Civic pull into my driveway. The Honda parked. A young man got out. Caucasian, tall, dark hair, mid-20s, wearing a fitted black t-shirt and gym shorts. He was carrying a small backpack. He walked up to my front door like a man who already knew the code to the lockbox. It was Jake. The front porch light came on. My wife opened the door. She was wearing my white dress shirt, the one I had worn to my brother's wedding, the one she had told me 3 weeks earlier that she had sent to the dry cleaners and lost. She had it on, unbuttoned, over a black 2-piece set. She kissed Jake in the doorway. She kissed him for a long time. Then they both went inside, and the porch light turned off, and I sat in the rental car with my phone in my hand, and I gave them exactly 23 minutes before I walked across the street and around to the side of my house and opened the garage's keypad door with the 4-digit code my wife thought I had already changed. I had not changed it. The garage door opened. The lights were already on inside, and there she was, on the hood of my Audi. Again, wearing my dress shirt. Again, with a 24-year-old man on top of her. Again, I stood in the doorway for 40 seconds with my phone out. I recorded everything. The audio, the video, the exact angle of her face turned toward the garage door. The exact moment Jake looked up and saw me standing there with the recording light on. I saved the file. I uploaded it to my cloud. I emailed a copy to my brother. And then, only then, I cleared my throat. Hi, sweetheart. How was your evening? The look on Vanessa's face is something I will remember on my deathbed. But to understand how I ended up standing in my own garage at 12:15 in the morning with a recording of my wife's second affair in my back pocket, you have to go back 4 months. To the moment my wife's best friend Sarah called her at a Sunday brunch and said her 24-year-old nephew had just landed at JFK. And my wife, with my own bourbon glass in her hand, said the 7 words that ended our marriage.
I'll tutor him. I have plenty of time.
Chapter 2. Our House. 4 months earlier. A Sunday in May. We had been married for 12 years. No kids. We had tried for 6. We had stopped trying 2 years ago by mutual agreement after the third round of IVF. That was supposed to be the moment we either grew closer or grew apart. I think we both knew even then that we had grown apart. The fights had started the year before. Quiet fights, long fights, the kind of fights that don't end with anyone yelling, just with one person sleeping on the couch and the other person staring at the ceiling. The night before the brunch, we had one of those fights. It had started over something small, the dishwasher. It always started over the dishwasher.
Daniel, you cannot just leave the dishes in the sink for 3 days. I work too. I have clients. I am not your mother.
Vanessa, I had a 14-hour day yesterday. The Mercer deal closes Monday. I will get to them.
It's always the Mercer deal. It's always Monday. 2 years ago, it was the Hendrickson deal. 3 years ago, it was the Phillips merger. There is always something. You know what I noticed last month? You haven't touched me in 7 weeks. 7 weeks, Daniel. I counted. I started counting in March because I thought I was imagining it. I'm not imagining it. And on Sunday morning, when I came out of the shower in just a towel, you were on your phone. You did not even look up. The towel slipped. I caught it. You did not see. You were checking ESPN. ESPN, Daniel, on a Sunday morning, with your wife in a wet towel 2 feet away from you. The week before that, I went to bed in the lingerie I bought in May. The black one. The one with the lace. I waited for you to come up for 40 minutes. You came up at 11. You said you were tired. You did not even register what I was wearing. I slept in it. I cried into the pillow. You snored next to me.
I am tired.
Tired. You are not tired. You are bored. There is a difference. My mother told me there is a difference, and I didn't believe her until I married you. When you do touch me, it's 4 minutes. 4. I have been timing it on my Apple Watch since January. I have the data. I can show you the data, Daniel. The longest one this year was 6 minutes, and that was on my birthday because you felt obligated. And you know what I noticed? You only reach for me when you have been drinking. You only ever have. You came home Friday at 1 in the morning, smelling like the supplier's wife who hangs all over you at the wholesale conventions, and you reached for me in the dark. And I lay there pretending to be asleep because I could not stand to be touched by a man who needed 3 bourbons before he could find me attractive. My friend Sarah's husband does it 3 times a week, minimum. She told me at lunch on Wednesday. 3. Her husband is 56 years old. You are 42. 42, Daniel. What are you going to be like at 50? Are you going to disappear entirely? Should I just buy a vibrator now and skip the next 8 years?
Don't compare me to Sarah's husband.
Then act like a husband and I won't have to. I am sleeping in the guest room tonight. Do not come in. Do not knock. Do not text me. I have not had a full night of sleep in 4 months because of you. I am taking it back tonight.
She slept in the guest room. The next morning at brunch, when Sarah called and mentioned her nephew, Jake from Korea, was looking for someone to help him with his English, my wife smiled the kind of smile a woman smiles at her own husband when she has already decided he is the consolation prize.
I'll tutor him. I have plenty of time.
I should have said no. I said okay. Chapter 3. Our house. 6 weeks later. Jake came to our house twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 in the evening to 8. I worked late on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Vanessa knew that. She had built her whole tutoring schedule around my late nights. The first month, I came home around 9, and Jake's Honda would already be gone. Vanessa would be in the kitchen, in normal clothes, making me a late dinner, asking about my day. The dishes would be done. The wine glasses on the counter would be 1, not 2. I trusted her completely. That is the part that still wakes me up at 3 in the morning. I trusted her completely, not because she had earned it, because I was too tired to imagine anything else. The first crack came on a Thursday in early July. I came home at 8:45 instead of 9:15. I had finished the call early. I pulled into the driveway. Jake's Honda was still there. I went in through the front door. I walked into the kitchen. Vanessa was at the counter in a sundress I did not recognize. Jake was on the bar stool across from her. They had a bottle of red wine open between them, 2 glasses, both half empty. The English textbook was on the counter, closed, with a coaster on top of it.
Daniel, hi. You're early.
Slow night.
We're just finishing up. Jake, this is my husband. Daniel, this is Jake, Sarah's nephew, from Korea.
Jake stood up. He shook my hand. His grip was firmer than it needed to be.
Nice to meet you, sir. Vanessa has told me a lot about you.
Has she?
She said you work very hard. She said you were gone a lot.
Did she? I looked at my wife. She was washing the wine glasses already. Quickly. She had her back to me.
Jake, I think we're done for tonight. Same time next week?
Same time. Thank you for the wine, Vanessa. And the dinner.
He left. The door closed. I stood in the kitchen with my hands in my pockets. He had dinner here?
He was hungry. He came straight from his shift. I had leftovers.
He had wine here.
Daniel, it was 1 glass. Don't be weird.
He called me sir.
He's Korean. They're polite. Stop.
She walked past me to put the textbook in the office. She did not kiss me hello. She did not ask about my day. She did not look at me when she said any of it. That night, I lay in bed and listened to her brush her teeth in the bathroom for 9 minutes. She always brushed her teeth for 2. I told myself I was being paranoid. I was not being paranoid. Chapter 4. Our house. Saturday afternoon, 2 weeks later. The day I caught her the first time was a Saturday afternoon in late July. I was supposed to be at a golf tournament with my brother. My brother had texted me at the last minute to cancel. His daughter had a fever. I had already left the house. I was already in the car. I drove home. I pulled into the driveway at 1:15 in the afternoon. Jake's silver Honda was parked at the curb across the street, not in the driveway. That was the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed was that the curtains in our bedroom on the second floor were closed in the middle of the day. I went in through the side door. The house was quiet. Too quiet. I walked through the kitchen. There were 2 coffee mugs on the counter. One had lipstick on the rim. The other did not. I walked through the living room. Vanessa's phone was on the couch, face down, vibrating with a notification. I walked toward the staircase. That is when I heard it. A door closing. Not upstairs, the garage. The door from the kitchen to the garage, on the opposite side of the house, was being eased shut very slowly by someone who did not want it to make a sound. I walked to the garage door. I opened it. The lights were on. My wife was on the hood of my Audi Q5. She was wearing the same white dress shirt she would later wear in September, on the night I came back from my fake business trip. The one she would later tell me she had sent to the dry cleaners. Jake was standing in front of her. His back was to me. He had not heard the kitchen door open. She saw me first. Her face did 3 things in the space of 2 seconds. First, her mouth opened. Then her eyes went very wide. Then she made a small sound that was not quite a word. Jake turned around. I stood in the doorway for a long, long second. I did not say anything. I did not move. I just looked.
Daniel. Daniel, oh my God, Daniel, no, 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 no. Daniel, please do not move. Please do not walk away, please. Daniel, listen to me. Jake, get off the car, get out of the garage, get out. Daniel, baby, this was the first time. I swear to God, this is the first time. Please, please, please. Daniel, do not call your mother. Do not call your brother. Please, please. Just go inside, Go inside the kitchen. Wait for me. I am coming. I am coming right now. Please.
I did not say anything. I turned around and walked back into the kitchen. I sat down at the kitchen table. I put my hands flat on the wood. I waited. Chapter 5. The kitchen. 20 minutes later. She came into the kitchen in a bathrobe. Her hair was wet. She had taken a shower. She had taken a shower while I was sitting at the kitchen table with my hands on the wood, waiting for her to come down. That detail is the one that stayed with me. She had taken the time to wash him off her before she came to face me. Jake had left through the garage. I had heard the Honda start up. I had heard it pull away. She sat down across from me.
Daniel.
I did not say anything.
Daniel, please, look at me.
I looked at her.
It was the first time. I swear to God, it was the first time. I swear on my mother's grave. I swear on everything. I had 2 glasses of wine at lunch. He came over because he forgot a textbook. He started kissing me. I tried to push him away. I did. I tried. And then Daniel, I don't know what happened. I am not that person. I am not.
Vanessa.
Daniel, please, please, please don't leave.
She got out of her chair. She walked around the table. She got down on her knees in front of me on our kitchen floor. She took both of my hands in both of hers, and she pressed my hands against her forehead.
I will do anything. Anything. I will quit the tutoring. I will block his number. I will give you my phone. I will give you my passwords. I will give you the location on my watch. You can track me anywhere. You can call me anytime. I will check in every hour. I will. Daniel, look at me. Look at me. I love you. I have loved you for 15 years. I made a mistake, one in 15 years. Please. I will quit my job. I will quit the book club. I will block Sarah's number. I will block every man in my contact list. You can read every text I have ever sent. You can read every email. I do not care. I will hand over the iCloud password tonight. Tonight, Daniel. I will do it tonight. Do you want me to call your mother? I will call your mother. I will tell your mother what I did. I will go to her house tomorrow morning and I will get on my knees in her living room and I will tell her. I will, if that is what it takes. I will go to therapy, couples therapy, individual therapy, both. I will go 3 times a week. I will pay for it out of my own savings. I will not ask you to pay a cent. I will get my IUD taken out next week. I will. I have been on birth control for 9 years, and I will go to the doctor on Monday and have it removed. I know you wanted to try one more time before we stopped trying. I said no. I said no for 2 years. I am saying yes now. I will do it. We can have a baby. We can start over. I swear on my mother's grave. I swear on her grave, Daniel. If I ever do this again, you can divorce me and take everything. The house, the Audi, the savings, the retirement, everything. I will sign whatever you want me to sign. I will sign it tonight. Tonight, Daniel. I am begging you. I am begging you on the floor of our kitchen, Daniel. I have never begged a man for anything in my life. I am begging you now. Please, please, please. Don't you dare leave me. Don't you dare. I will not survive it. I will not survive it, Daniel.
She was crying. Not the pretty kind of crying. The ugly kind. The kind where her nose was running and her face was red and her shoulders were shaking and the bathrobe was open at the collar and she did not care. I sat there for a long time looking at the top of her head. I am going to tell you something now, and I want you to understand that I am not proud of it. I forgave her. I forgave her because I was 42 years old, and I had spent 12 years building a life with this woman. And I could not, in that moment, sitting at my own kitchen table on a Saturday afternoon in July, picture starting over. I forgave her because she was on her knees and her hands were shaking, and I was tired. I forgave her because some part of me, some quiet, broken part of me, wanted to believe that a woman who swore on her dead mother's grave would not, could not do it twice. I was wrong. I was so wrong. But before I knew I was wrong, before I drove to the airport with my fake suitcase, I had 2 weeks of Vanessa being the perfect wife. And in those 2 weeks, we had the worst fight of our entire marriage. Chapter 6. Our bedroom. A Tuesday night, 2 weeks after. The fight started the way our fights always started, in bed. She had been doing everything right for 10 days. Cooking, cleaning, texting me selfies during the day, sending me her location every 2 hours without being asked, crying at the dinner table on Sunday night and apologizing again, telling me she did not deserve me, telling me Jake had been a horrible mistake she would carry forever. On the 11th night, she reached for me in bed. I rolled away.
Daniel,
I'm tired, Vanessa.
it's been 10 days. 10 days since you have touched me.
I said I'm tired.
Tired. There's that word again. There's that word that started this whole thing in the first place. Do you know how many times I have heard you say the word tired in the last 12 months, Daniel? I have started counting. I am up to 411. You were tired before Jake. You were tired during Jake. And now you are tired after Jake. Nothing has changed for you. The only person whose life has changed is mine. I am the one who is checking in every 2 hours. I am the one who deleted my Instagram. I am the one who quit my book club because Sarah is in it. I am doing all of the work, and you are still tired. You know what my friend Lauren told me last month? She told me her husband is 47 and he still finishes inside her every Friday night, without fail. Every single Friday for 19 years. 19 years, Daniel. He works longer hours than you do. He has 3 kids. He coaches baseball on the weekends. And he still does it. I have been faking it for 7 years, Daniel. Did you know that? 7 years. I have been faking it since the year you got promoted to VP. Every single time. Every single time you rolled over and said, "Was it good for you?" I lied to you. I have been lying to your face since 2018. I learned how to fake it from a YouTube video, Daniel. Do you know how humiliating that is? I am 37 years old and I learned how to fake an orgasm from a YouTube video at 3 in the morning because my own husband never bothered to figure out what I actually wanted.
You cheated on me, Vanessa. I am allowed to be tired.
I cheated on you because you were already tired.
The room got very still. What did you just say to me?
I said what I said. Daniel, do you want to know why I let Jake into this house? Do you want to know the real reason? Because for the first time in 3 years, somebody looked at me. Somebody walked into a room and his eyes went to me. Somebody asked about my day and waited for the answer. Somebody touched my hand when he was passing me a textbook and didn't pull it away. You haven't done any of those things in 3 years, Daniel. 3 years. Jake noticed I cut my hair. You did not. Jake noticed I lost 11 pounds in the spring. You did not. Jake noticed the new perfume I started wearing in April. You did not. Jake noticed the new lingerie I bought in May. The lingerie I bought for you, Daniel. The lingerie that sat in the drawer for 6 weeks before I gave up and put it on for him because at least somebody in this house was going to see it. And on Sarah's husband. You know what she said to me at brunch last spring? She said her husband still grabs her in the hallway sometimes. Just walking by. He'll grab her and pin her to the wall and kiss her like she's 25. He's 56 years old. They have 3 kids. And he still does that. When was the last time you grabbed me in the hallway, Daniel? Can you even remember? Because I cannot. When was the last time you finished a meal early because you wanted to take me upstairs? When was the last time you canceled a meeting because of me? When was the last time you came home and your first thought was about me and not about the Mercer deal? I will tell you when. April 14th, 2022. That was the last time. I have it written down in a journal. I started a journal that month because I knew, Daniel, I knew I was going to either kill myself or cheat on you, and I did not want to kill myself.
Don't you dare make this about me.
I'm not making it about you. I'm telling you what was missing. I'm telling you what I had to find somewhere else because I could not find it here.
You could have asked for it.
I asked for it for 3 years, Daniel. I asked for it in every fight. I asked for it in counseling. I asked for it the night before Sarah called me about Jake. The night before, Daniel. And you said you were tired and you went to sleep, and the next morning Sarah called and Jake was already booked. You sent me to him. I'm sorry, but you did. You sent me to him by being tired for 3 straight years. And the worst part, Daniel? The worst part is that with him, I did not have to ask. He just did it. The first night, he just did it. He walked over to me at the kitchen counter, and he turned my face and he kissed me like I was something worth kissing. And I cried, Daniel. I cried in his arms because it had been so long since anybody had kissed me like that. And I had stopped believing that anybody ever would again.
I sat up in bed. Get up.
What?
Get out of the bed. I am not sleeping next to you tonight.
Daniel, I did not mean it that way. I did not mean any of it. I was angry. You know how I get when I am angry. I say things. Daniel, please. Daniel, come back. Come back to bed. Please. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Please do not leave the room. Daniel, are you listening to me? Daniel! I will do better. I will. I promise. I promise on my mother's grave. I will not bring up Sarah's husband again. I will not bring up Lauren. I will not compare you. I will not. Just please come back. Daniel, please, please.
I have never wanted to hit a woman in my life, before that night or since. But I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that I had to get out of that bed and walk down to the kitchen and pour myself a glass of bourbon, because if I had stayed in that bed for one more sentence, I do not know what I would have done. I drank the bourbon at the kitchen counter. She did not come down. I went back upstairs at 2 a.m. She was already asleep. Or she was pretending to be asleep. I have never been able to tell with her. The next morning, she made me an omelet and kissed me on the cheek and said,
I love you. I'm sorry about last night. I lost my temper. I will never speak to you that way again. I swear on my mother's grave. I am going to be the wife I should have been from the beginning, Daniel. Watch me. I will show you. Just give me a chance.
That was the second time in 2 weeks she had sworn on her mother's grave. That was the moment I knew. That was the moment I called my brother and asked him to rent me a car under his name. Chapter 7. The Garage. The same Tuesday night, 12:17 a.m. So now you know how I got to the garage. I cleared my throat. I said her name. I said it the way a husband says his wife's name when he is also a man holding a phone with an 8-minute video on it. Hi, sweetheart. How was your evening? Jake fell off the hood of the car. He literally fell off. He hit the concrete floor on his side and made a sound like a kicked dog. He scrambled backward across the garage on his hands and his bare feet, dragging his gym shorts up with one hand, looking at me with the kind of face a 24-year-old makes when he has just understood that the rest of his life is about to go very badly. Vanessa did not move. She was frozen on the hood. My white dress shirt was open. Her hair was a mess. She was looking at me. Her mouth was open. Her eyes were the same way they had been the first time, in July. Wide, wet, already calculating.
Daniel. Daniel, baby. It's not. This isn't. I can explain. You said you were in Denver. Daniel, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Please, please, please. He came over because he forgot a textbook. He came over because his car broke down. He came over because he was upset about his visa. Daniel, listen to me. Please listen to me. This is not what it looks like. This is not, oh my God, please put the phone down. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, baby. I will explain everything in the kitchen. I will explain everything. Please, come inside, please. We are going to wake up the neighbors. The garage door is open. People can see. Daniel, please, the neighbors.
I lied, Vanessa. Just like you've been lying for the last 2 weeks.
Daniel, please. Oh my God, please put the phone down. Please. What are you doing with the phone? Are you recording me? Please. Daniel, please.
I'm recording you. I have been recording you for the last 40 seconds. I also recorded Jake's car arriving at 11:47. I also recorded you kissing him in the doorway, in my white dress shirt. I also have a copy uploaded to the cloud. I also emailed a copy to my brother. I also have the 4-digit garage code that you thought I changed last week. I did not change the garage code. I did not change anything. Because 2 weeks ago, while you were on your knees on our kitchen floor, swearing on your mother's grave, I already knew. I already knew you were going to do it again. I just did not know when. She started to cry.
Daniel, please, 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 please. We can fix this. We can. I can quit. I can move out of state. We can do counseling. We can. Please don't. Please don't show that to anyone. Please, Daniel, please. Jake means nothing to me. He is nothing. He is nothing. He is 24 and he is stupid and he is nothing.
Jake, on the floor, in his shorts, made a sound.
I'm right here, Vanessa.
Shut up, Jake.
I'm literally right here. You said you loved me on Sunday. You said it twice.
Jake, I swear to God, if you say one more word.
She told me her husband couldn't get it up anymore. She told me last month. She told me you finished in 3 minutes on her birthday and rolled over. She told me she hadn't been touched sober in 2 years. She told me you smelled like the Mercer deal. She said it like that. The Mercer deal. Like a perfume. She told me you took a Cialis on her birthday and it still didn't work and she had to fake it. She told me you cried after. She told me she made you a sandwich. She told me she was going to leave you in the spring. She had a folder, sir. A folder on her laptop. She showed it to me. It had the prenup in it. She said her aunt's lawyer told her the infidelity clause had a loophole if she was the one who filed first. She said she just needed to find the right reason. She said I was the right reason. She told me her friend Lauren's husband does it 3 times a week, and that's what real men do. She told me her friend Sarah's husband still grabs Sarah in the hallway, and that's what real men do. She told me her own father did it 5 times a week until he died, and that's what real men do. She told me you were not a real man, sir. She told me that on the second night, in your own bed, wearing your own dress shirt. She told me she wanted me to come every Tuesday and Thursday during your business trips. She told me she was going to start booking yoga retreats so we could go away together. She told me her Aunt Margaret has a lake cabin and we could use it in October. She has been planning this for 4 months, sir. She told me she was going to be free by Christmas.
Jake, please, please stop talking, please.
I'm telling you the truth, sir. I am sorry. I am so sorry. I did not know. I thought she was already separated. She told me you slept in the guest room. She told me you had not shared a bedroom in over a year. She told me she was just waiting for the paperwork. I came to America to work. I came to learn English. I have a visa. I have a job at a Korean restaurant in Queens. I do not want any trouble. Please, sir. Please.
The garage was very, very quiet. I looked at Jake. I looked at my wife. I looked at the hood of my own car. I put my phone in my pocket. I walked back into the kitchen. I poured myself a bourbon. I sat down at the same table where she had been on her knees in July. I waited. Chapter 8. The Kitchen. 1:30 a.m. She came down in the bathrobe again. She did not shower this time. There was no time. Jake had left in his Honda, in his gym shorts, at 12:45. I had not stopped him. I had not spoken to him. I had let him walk out of my garage and drive off into the rest of his short, ugly little life. She sat down across from me. She tried to take my hand. I moved my hand.
Daniel. Daniel, please, I am begging you.
Vanessa, I want you to listen to me very carefully now. I am not going to leave you tonight. I am not going to leave you tomorrow. I am not going to leave you next week.
Oh my God. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Daniel. Oh my God. I love you. I love you. I love you. I am going to spend the rest of my life. I am going to. I will be the wife you deserve. I will. I will.
I am not finished, Vanessa.
Oh. Oh.
I am not going to leave you because I want you to spend the next 90 days believing that I forgave you again. I want you to wake up next to me every morning and look at me and wonder. I want you to make me breakfast. I want you to text me selfies. I want you to send me your location every 2 hours. I want you to keep doing all of the things you have been doing.
Daniel. Daniel, what are you... Daniel, what is this? What are you doing?
And every single night when you are asleep, I'm going to copy more files. I have already copied your iCloud. I have copied your texts to Sarah. I have copied your texts to Jake. I have the voice notes. I have the photos. I have the location data from your Apple Watch for the last 3 months. Every single time you told me you were at yoga, I have the data showing where you actually were. I have been building this file since the morning after I forgave you in July. I never forgave you, Vanessa. I just needed time.
Daniel, you let me beg. You let me beg on my knees on the kitchen floor. You let me beg on my mother's grave. You watched me. You watched me, Daniel, and you were already. Daniel, you are not the man I married. The man I married would not. The man I married would not have done this. He would have screamed at me. He would have hit Jake. He would have been a man, Daniel.
The man you married was tired. He stopped being tired in July. She was staring at me. Her face had gone completely white.
Daniel, what are you saying?
I'm saying that in 90 days, when my attorney files the petition, I'm going to have everything I need to leave you with what you came into this marriage with, which was nothing. The prenup we signed 12 years ago has an infidelity clause. Your Aunt Margaret made you sign it. Do you remember? You complained about it for a month. You said it was insulting. You said your family was old-fashioned. You signed it anyway. It is fully enforceable. I had my attorney review it in August, the day after I caught you the first time. You will leave this marriage with your clothes, your car, and the money in your personal checking account. You will not get the house. You will not get the savings. You will not get half of my retirement. You will not get the lake property. You will not get a cent of alimony, because the clause says any documented infidelity voids alimony. And I have video of you in the garage on the hood of my own car twice. Your Aunt Margaret is going to find out. Sarah is going to find out. Your book club is going to find out. The neighbors are going to find out. Jake is going to find out. And Jake's mother in Korea is going to find out. but not for 90 days. For the next 90 days, you are going to keep being the perfect wife. You are going to smile at me at brunch. You are going to hold my hand at my brother's birthday party. You are going to come to my mother's 75th in October, and you are going to look at her and you are going to call her mom. And on day 91, I am going to file. And then I am going to send the garage video to every single person on your contact list. Do we understand each other? She did not answer. She just looked at the kitchen table. Her hands were shaking. The bathrobe had slipped off one shoulder. She did not pull it back up.
Daniel. Daniel, please don't do this. Please, I am begging you. Not the video. Not to my aunt. Not to Sarah. Not to your mother. Please. I will sign anything tonight. Tonight, Daniel. We do not need 90 days. I will sign whatever your attorney wrote up. I will sign it on this kitchen table. I will sign it right now. I will not contest. I will not ask for the house. I will not ask for the savings. I will leave with my car and my clothes. I will leave tomorrow morning. Just please, please do not send the video. Please, please. My Aunt Margaret has a heart condition. She will die. She will literally die, Daniel. Please. I will leave the country. I will. I will go back to Korea with my parents. I will move to my cousin's apartment in Seoul. You will never see me again. Just please do not send the video.
Vanessa, look at me. She looked up. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
Yes? What?
Yes, Daniel.
Good. Go to bed. I will be up in a minute. She stood up. She walked out of the kitchen. She did not look back. I sat at the kitchen table for another 40 minutes with my bourbon and my phone, watching the 8-minute video on a loop, looking for the exact second when I should have known 12 years earlier that the woman I married was the kind of woman who would do this twice. I could not find that second. I stopped looking. Chapter 9. The House the Following Sunday. She came down in a blue dress on Sunday morning. Pearls, heels, lipstick. We were having brunch with my parents. She had been baking since 6 in the morning. The kitchen smelled like cinnamon. She had set the table with the good china. She had put fresh flowers on the table. She had ironed my shirt and laid it out on the bed. She kissed me on the cheek when I came downstairs.
Good morning, baby. Coffee's ready. Your mother called. She's bringing the casserole. I told her I'd make the pie. The pie is in the oven. I love you, Daniel.
I looked at her. I smiled. I love you too, sweetheart. We sat with my parents for 2 hours. She held my hand under the table for most of it. She laughed at my father's jokes. She refilled my mother's wine. She was perfect. She has been perfect for the last 43 days. There are 47 days left. She does not know I keep adding to the file. Every time she sends me a selfie at noon, I save it. Every time she sends me her location, I save it. Every time she leans over to kiss me at a restaurant, I have my phone on the table set to silent video. The lawyer says the package will be ready by day 90. The lawyer says the package will be the cleanest infidelity case he has handled in 15 years. The lawyer says she will not contest. He says women in her position never contest. He says the fear of the public file is more than enough. Last night, in bed, she rolled over and kissed my shoulder in the dark.
Daniel?
Yes?
Are we okay? Really?
I waited for a long second. We are okay, Vanessa. Go to sleep. She fell asleep on my chest the way she used to, 12 years ago, when we were first married and the future was a place we were both walking toward together. I lay awake until 4 in the morning. I have 47 days. I am counting them. That is all for tonight's story. Thank you for listening to the long story until the end. If this story moved you, please subscribe and like, and share it with somebody who needs to hear it. We will be back next week with another story. Until then, take care of yourselves and watch your spouse's garage codes.